There are a lot of different characters, and you can let's just real quickly go through them. So you have powered Ciel. She's got mix of range and close combat. We call these the Maids. I also want to go through this so that you know what we call these and what you will hear them called if you're watching tournaments. These are Maids. We don't call them Hisui and Kohaku usually because it's a lot of words. You play both of these characters together. This is Akiha Tohno, is Shiki Tohno's sister. Lots of setups, sets up big things on the screen. A little bit more complex. I don't know if I would recommend Akiha for beginners, but she is really cool, so if you like her, play her. Arc is the title character, one of the title characters of the series. Very cool. She punch good. Ciel, cool character, has projectiles and punchy bits. Noel, a lot of people find her irritating with her voice. I think she's hilarious. I love her. She has a big old spear, and if you like big mid-screen normals, so normal buttons, no like 2, 3, 6 or whatever, buttons where you're just going A, B, or C that hit at a decent range, that's your girl. Mario is kind of known as what would be called a puppet character, a character that manipulates other characters, which he has. You can even see him doing this. He's actually playing with piano strings. He is a musician of the church. Red Arc is what we call, or Wark. Don't worry about the Wark bit. Wark gets into some old history, but if you hear people say Wark, they're referring to this character. I call her Red Arc because I think it's a bit more clear. Red Arc, very similar moveset to Arc, but has some projectiles. Projectiles are things that you throw across the screen. Hisui is one of the Maids. She throws things. Hisui is a very cool character, one of the best Japanese players. Jing won Evo 2022 with this character. Very cool. Dead Apostle Noel, you will either hear this referred to as Dan or DA Noel. Lots of projectiles, lots of setups. Setups being putting things on the screen and then making your opponent move around those things. Vlov, this is my boy. Everybody knows I love my boy Vlov. He is what is known as a zoner. A zoner keeps people away. He no want to be close. He says, I'm going to keep you out of this zone. Michael Roa Valdanjong. He has a lot of different tools. And he's also very fast. Shiki Tohno, also one of the title characters, as I mentioned, referred to as Tohno exclusively. He is a stabby boy. He has a special mechanic where he gets another moveset unlocked if he is able to use his arc drive. So he's a bit more complex, but he's also pretty accessible. Kouma. Healthiest character in the game and is what we would call a grappler. A grappler likes to be up in your face, grabbing you all the time. So he's a big boy, he has a lot of health to go through, and he hits like a Mack truck on a highway going 80 miles an hour. So do be careful. Arima Miyako, ganbarimasu! This is Miyako. She's a 5th grader, and she's really good at Kung Fu! If you love fast, pushing buttons super fast, and being a speedy little child, she's great. She also has one of the best arc drives. Kohaku. Best girl. In all seriousness, Kohaku is the other half of the Maids, and she has some really neat close-up moves and projectiles as well. Ushiwakamaru is one of our most recent DLCs. You will hear her only called Ushi, and she is a very fast character. She's a sneaky character, likes to switch sides, and unfortunately she hits fortunately she hits hard. Unfortunately, she has very low health. Second lowest health in the game. Neco-Arc, this is a real character in a real fighting game. You just have to experience Neco-Arc. MASH. very short ranged, meaning that you have to be up in somebody's face. If you don't want to be up in somebody's face, don't play Mash. But if you really like the idea of smacking people in the face with a big shield repeatedly, this is your girl. Saber is actually holding a sword. And I want to go over what some of these characters are from in a little bit. Saber, solid all-around character, but does not see as much play as they used to. Aoko, very prominent character, especially in the Japanese region right now. Actually in Asia as well. There's several Korean players who play Aoko as well. Lots of setups. Again, setups meaning things that you can place around screen to manipulate the way that your opponent is moving. Also has lasers, also is cool. The Count of Monte Cristo. You will never hear anyone on commentary refer to this guy as the Count of Monte Cristo, because that's all. The Count of Monte Cristo is 7 syllables. His name is Edmond Dantes, so you will hear everybody refer to him as Dantes. So if you're like, oh yeah, Dantes, and you're like, who the crap is that? Count of Monte Cristo. Pretty fast. Cool stuff. We have 22 characters currently in this game. Now, some of them, if you, say, are a Fate fan, you're going to recognize them. Count of Monte Cristo, Saber, Mash, Ushiwakamaru are all from Fate. Specifically, Fate Grand Order, which is owned by the same company that produces Melty Blood. There are some characters that came from the previous Melty Blood. There's some new characters to this Melty Blood. Vlov is new to this Melty Blood, for example. So, let's go back to the main menu.
Work it. Woo!